The beginning of World War I. The beginning of World War I is generally traced back to the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary on June 28, 1914, in Sarajevo, Bosnia. The assassination was carried out by a Serbian nationalist and triggered a diplomatic crisis that ultimately led to the outbreak of war. Following the assassination, Austria-Hungary issued a series of ultimatums to Serbia, demanding that the Serbian government take action against the nationalist group responsible for the assassination and allow Austria-Hungary to conduct an investigation within Serbia's borders. When Serbia refused to comply with all of the demands, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia on July 28, 1914. The complex system of alliances and treaties that existed between European powers at the time meant that other countries were quickly drawn into the conflict. Russia, which had pledged to defend Serbia, mobilized its army, prompting Germany to declare war on Russia. France, which had an alliance with Russia, then declared war on Germany. The conflict quickly spread, with other countries such as Britain and Italy joining the war on the side of the Allies, France, Russia, and Britain, and the Ottoman Empire joining the Central Powers, Germany and Austria-Hungary. The beginning of World War I marked the start of a 4-year conflict that would result in the deaths of millions of people, the collapse of empires, and significant political and social changes across Europe and the world. The early years of World War I saw significant military activity on both the eastern and western fronts. In the west, German forces launched a rapid invasion of Belgium and France, seeking to quickly defeat the French and secure victory before Russia could mobilize its army. However, the Germans were stopped by a combination of French and British forces at the Battle of the Marne, and the war on the Western Front soon settled into a grueling and bloody stalemate. On the Eastern Front, Russian forces initially achieved some successes against the Austro-Hungarian Empire, but suffered a major defeat at the Battle of Tannenberg in August 1914. The fighting on the Eastern Front was characterized by large-scale battles and maneuvering across vast territories, with both sides suffering significant casualties. As the war progressed, both sides began to use new technologies such as poison gas, tanks, and airplanes, which increased the destructiveness of the conflict. The war also had significant impacts on civilian populations, with many people experiencing food shortages, displacement, and other hardships. Despite some attempts at peace negotiations, the war continued until November 11, 1918, when Germany signed an armistice agreement with the Allies. The Treaty of Versailles, signed the following year, imposed harsh penalties on Germany and helped set the stage for the political and economic instability that would eventually lead to World War II. The end of World War I also marked a significant shift in international relations and the balance of power. The war led to the collapse of several major empires, including the Austro-Hungarian, Ottoman, German, and Russian empires, and set the stage for the rise of new political ideologies and movements, including communism and fascism. The aftermath of the war also saw the formation of the League of Nations, an international organization created to promote peace and cooperation among nations. However, the League ultimately proved ineffective at preventing the outbreak of World War II. The human toll of World War I was staggering, with an estimated 16 million people killed and 21 million wounded. The war also had a significant impact on the social and cultural fabric of Europe, with many artists, writers, and intellectuals responding to the horrors of the war by rejecting traditional values and seeking new forms of expression. In summary, the beginning of World War I was sparked by the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary and a complex system of alliances and treaties that quickly drew multiple countries into the conflict. The war lasted for 4 years and had a profound impact on world history, resulting in the collapse of empires, the formation of new political movements, and the loss of millions of lives. What countries were involved in the First World War? The majority joined on the side of the Allies, including Serbia, Russia, France, Britain, Italy, United States. They were opposed by Germany, Austria-Hungary, Bulgaria, the Ottoman Empire. How the World War end? There were 2 world wars, so I will provide a brief overview of the end of both wars. World War I ended on November 11, 1918, when Germany signed the Armistice of Compiegne, which called for a ceasefire and the end of hostilities on the Western Front. This was followed by the signing of the Treaty of Versailles on June 28, 1919, which officially ended the war between Germany and the Allied powers. The treaty imposed harsh penalties on Germany, including significant territorial losses, the payment of massive reparations, and restrictions on its military, which many historians argue contributed to the rise of Adolf Hitler and the outbreak of World War II. World War II ended on September 2, 1945, when Japan signed the Instrument of Surrender aboard the USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay, formally ending the war. The war in Europe had already ended on May 8, 1945, when Germany signed an unconditional surrender document in Berlin. The war ended after years of brutal fighting across multiple continents, with the Allies, including the United States, Great Britain, and the Soviet Union, ultimately prevailing over the Axis powers, including Germany, Japan, and Italy. The war resulted in the deaths of tens of millions of people and had a profound impact on the course of world history.
Subscribe for more horrors and mysterious videos. Thanks.